Hey everybody, it's GauntletX, and welcome back to some more Magic Arena. And today we're going to be playing a quick draft of Wilds of Eldraine. Without further ado, let's just get into this draft, see if we can't do a speedy quick draft today. For a pack one, pick one, we have the really fun rare of 3 blind mice. You get a 1/1 mouse, then you keep making copies of them, then +1/+1 vigilance to the whole board. It's a really great card, especially when you have other tokens in your deck to copy. That way, if the mouse dies, you're still getting value off of this. And if you get the 2/2 Vigilant Knight token, that's the perfect card to go with this. So it's a really fun, pretty powerful build around. I'm going to take that over the really solid black removal spells, the Witch's Vanity and the Candy Grapple. These are definitely the second best picks in this pack. They're actually probably on par with 3 Blind Mice, but this card's a little cooler, a little more interesting. And we're going to start off with that kind of build around for us. For pick 2 now, we have a Cursed Courtier, just sticking towards mono white. That's going to be perfectly fine. There's a lot of great ways to use this card. It comes with a Cursed roll, but you can bargain that away with anything that wants to sacrifice an artifact token or enchantment, the bargain ability. You can also put a different roll onto it. Each roll or each creature can only have one roll from each player. So if you put any other roll onto this, it loses the Cursed roll. Some cool stuff you can do with that card, but there's also some strong off-color cards like the super efficient removal of Torch the Tower. There's the Hollow Scavenger, which is a great food token aggro card, so we're fine with the Blind Mice. We can copy food tokens with this, actually. The Hopeless Nightmare is pretty nice in black-white because you have a lot of bargain stuff, as well as some stuff that can return something from your board back to your hand to recast it again later, so something with a great enter effect like that could be sweet. Or we also have Rankle's Prank, which is pretty powerful because you always just choose the ability that is the most in your favor. If you're really aggressive, each player discards 2 and loses 4 once you're out of cards in hand. And if you're really controlling, then when you've got no creatures on board, each player sacks 2. So pretty sweet options here all around. I'm going to go ahead and go for the Torch the Tower here. I just like the Boros decks a lot, and Torch the Tower just in general, one of the best, most efficient removal spells in the format, and there's some cards in the format that actually really want you to have the bargain cards to sacrifice them. There's some cards where sacrificing the card is actually a huge benefit rather than a cost. So pick 3, the white spells are pretty mediocre, so we get to stick to red with Edgewall Pack, Grand Ballgast, or Redcap Thief. I like all of these a lot. The Edgewall Pack and the Redcap Thief both trigger Celebration, just getting 2 permanents off of the 1 spell. And the Ballgast is just a good celebration creature. But I'm going to take the Edgewall Pack here. I really like it at the top end. It's a menacing threat. Comes with 2 creatures to be attacking with off the 1 card. Here's another Torch the Tower. Really happy to take that. I think it's easily the best card in the pack. The closest is the Hollow Scavenger or the Tempting Apple, which is good in any aggressive deck. The best thing about the Tempting Apple being its flexibility mana-wise. Pick 5, Flick a Coin plays perfectly fine in the format. Because you get a treasure token off this, it's essentially only 2 mana, and it immediately replaces itself with that card draw, so it's a lot better than it looks. You can help your smaller creatures trade up into bigger stuff. Cycles away well, leaves behind a treasure token to bargain. Red is wide open. The bots just don't see red at all, I guess. They're completely colorblind to it because there's Edgewall Pack, Torch the Tower, and Ratcatcher Trainee. Pick 6, which is insane. We're just going to take all the Torch the Towers and have insanely efficient removal in red no matter what we do. And here is one of the, if not the biggest reason to play blue in this format, and that's Hatching Plans. You obviously have to be able to sacrifice this or destroy it somehow, but that's what the bargain mechanic's for. If you have a bunch of cards like Torch and Tower that let you sacrifice an enchantment for extra value, they are perfect with cards like Hatching Plans that you really need to sacrifice in order for it to work in the first place. So potentially some weird blue-red control deck just because that looks like what is wide open. I mean, red's wide open, and blue we found a late Hatching Plan, so maybe that's the deck here, but pick 8. I think the Transmuter, the Succumb to the Cold are pretty mediocre, whereas Rat Out is actually pretty sweet in Rakdos. It's a little combat trick that also spits out that 1/1 body at instant speed. Pick 9, yeah, we might be a bargain deck. Here's Johan's Stopgap or Ice Out. Both of these play really well with Hatching Plans. You just bargain it away, cast a 2-mana counterspell, or bargain it away, 2-mana bounce spell. Both are great. I'm going to go for the Stopgap here. If we're playing red, we could definitely take a bunch of aggressive red cards where it's easier to take the tempo plays like bouncing your opponent's blockers than it is to run a bunch of counter spells. Because if we have a bunch of good aggressive red creatures, we're going to have untapped mana less often for instance during our opponent's turn. Pick 10's pretty mediocre, not super into it. I'll take the Misleading Motes. The cantrip there could be fine as well. Pick 11, also mediocre. We'll take Curiosity. It has a pretty cute combo with there's like a 3 mana thing that taps and deals the damage to your opponent every turn. It's pretty fun with that. Tempting Apple's good in any aggro deck. We're looking a little more controlling here, but it looks like blue is so open we can get all these sleight of hands like last pick anyway. And they're just like solid filler. They're nothing super exciting. Okay, pack 2, pick 1. We see Twisted Sewer Witch and Agatha's Champion, 2 incredible uncommons. If we take something for our blue-red control deck, it's just a Quick Study, a Prankster, or a Transmuter. I guess the Prankster would actually be pretty good. Here, we've got a lot of instants and sorceries right now, right? Still way more excited about red than anything else, but the hatching plans with the stopgap looks great. The Curiosity, Misleading Motes, and Sleight of Hand are all pretty filler, but like all our red cards are really good. I feel like I don't want to be so married to blue here. I mean, it is still like one of the weakest colors in the format. It's not a super, super deep color, so it's got to be like wide open here where we just get tons of hatching plant synergies. So I'm going to keep the black speculation open here, maybe for the Sewer Witch, or I could have opened up a green speculation towards the champion. But here's Ratcatcher Trainee, excellent red card. We know we're going to play no matter what because we're definitely in red. So I think I have to take that over speculating off color again. Okay, there's the Catapult. The Catapult is the Curiosity Wombo combo, which is really funny. We've also got the Monstrosity, a good aggressive black creature. Rakdos, we'd want to play a lot of rats, ideally, but you don't have to be like all creatures of that type. You can just take good aggressive creatures in general, which we definitely would do here. Yeah, I like getting deeper into Rakdos. The Catapult's only going to be good if we do Curiosity dumb stuff. So it's pretty narrow. Pick 4, Grand Ball Guest is very good with Ratcatcher Trainee, Edgewall Pack, and Twisted Sewer Witch. All those cards trigger Celebration off of just one spell. I like the Crescendo as well, but I think you got to take the good efficient creatures higher. Shared Animosity, if Rakdos was wide open and we have a million rat producing cards, we could try to do this. I don't think it's open enough that we can expect to have a whole ton of rat tokens where we'll have a bunch of stuff sharing a creature type. Like maybe we'll get lucky and by the end of the draft that'll work out, but maybe not. Wow. Shoot. I could have a double Hatching Plans blue deck. Oh no. I feel like just taking the Spear Guard and sticking Rakdos Rats here. But Hatching Plans is insane. There's Hopeless Nightmare for Rakdos, Edgewall Pack for either deck. I'll take that. But the Edgewall Pack's certainly better in Rakdos. Tempting Apple, way better for aggressive. Spellstutter, solid if we're control. I don't think Johan's very good, is he? Once per turn, you can cast an instant or sorcery from the top of your deck. 4 mana, 2/5, no immediate value. You have to cast them and then also cast another spell. I don't know, maybe I just don't like blue-red. Because I know, like, Hatching Plans decks are really good, but I like the Dimir Hatching Plans decks. I am a triple Torch to Tower deck, so, like, there's theoretically a blue path here, and then I'm just, like, seeing the blue-red uncommon and stuff and just being like, I just don't like that card. This is awkward. Yeah, there's just nothing available in black, though. So I guess we are the weird blue-red control. I am not excited. Certainly not excited. I've got the Catapult Curiosity combo, so that's cute. I guess I'll try it. We've got tons of Hatching Plans combos. My god, we have so much to bargain this away with. Alright, what do we got now? Second Curiosity to go with the Catapult. The one copy of Catapult, that doesn't seem like a good idea. I already might have to cut the Catapult and the Curiosity in the first place. Because they're kind of only good together. And we're not going to consistently draw them together. These apples are really bad. Because we're like really controlling here. I guess it's probably Frolicking Familiar, right? You can clear out a small creature with Blow Off Theme. And then we get a nice flyer that also gets buffed when we're casting spells. Sure. Well, maybe blue's open enough in this draft pod with the bots that we just take the red creature first and wheel the blue one. That actually also seems reasonable. Take a belligerent. Pack 3, pick 2. Another catapult to go with the curiosity. Sure. We're full idiot mode now. Double catapult. I'll wheel that other curiosity. Here's a Farsight Ritual, which is massive card draw if you bargain. You look at the top 8, put 2 into your hand. Insane. Especially with 2 hatching plans to bargain away. The Balloon's Gatekeeper is a great finisher for controlling blue decks because you bounce your opponent's early threat to slow them down, and then you also get a 6/5 later, but the Hearth Elemental is also really good. You want to be a deck that can completely empty its hand for this, though, and we have a lot of card draw and some counter spells that are going to be stuck in our hand, so it's going to be hard for us to stoke Genius that often. I'm actually going to go for the Gatekeeper here over that. Another stopgap for more bargaining. Make hatching plans as insane as possible. Pick 6. Transmuter, slow them down. Or another catapult. I can't resist. We're going to get a pick 9 curiosity here, I imagine. Here's an Attendance. Has an adventure to slow our opponents down, and then a fine flying finisher. Transmuter has an adventure to slow our opponents down. And there's the curiosity wheel. All right. Curiosity catapult deck. This will be fun. Okay, the giant body kind of sucks, but the instant adventure is not bad on that card. I'll just take another sleight of hand, though. Probably have enough beefy creatures. Water Wings to protect our catapults. Obviously necessary. Now, I mean, we have actual counter spells, so I'd probably cut that. Okay, here we go. Cut a few cards here and have a real goofy blue-red catapult deck. So let's drop some of our weakest creatures. We're not a particularly good Ratcatcher deck, but I still want to have some 2-drops even just to trade off on blocks, though. Yeah, we're so low on creatures, I think I'm just going to keep them all. Is a 12-creature deck? I mean, we can go lower in control, but I feel like our kind of our best cards. We'll drop the Moats, the Water Wings. Got some lands here. Because all of our biggest spells have cheap adventures for like 2 mana where we can still cast them. And we also have like triple sleight of hand digging for lands when we need them, if I've got the blue mana up. So I'm cool to go for like a 15 land deck here even, with this much card drawn, cycling through stuff. I have so many good spells, I have to cut 4 cards still. That's crazy. This deck just actually a banger? No belligerent. Just go all the slow creatures like Catapult instead. Maybe even the Edgeball packs, because the rats aren't doing any blocking for us anyway. This is so weird. There's just a goof pile. At least we'll have fun. At least we'll have fun in this quick draft. I'll just drop another sleight of hand and call it a deck here. I have no idea how this is going to do. This could be an 0-3 or... I'm not going to say 7-0. This could be like an 0-3 or maybe like a 7-2 if we're on a good run. This is a super goofy deck. I'm genuinely unsure how this will do. I'm pretty excited to see how it does. So without further ado, let's just hop into the gameplay. All right, here we are for game 1. Sleight of hand's looking really good here to help dig towards the red source so that we can torch the tower, bargain towards the hatching plans. I'm gonna take the Gatekeeper here. I guess if I make it to 4 mana, I can bargain Farsight Ritual the hatching plans, but I've got another sleight of hand to dig for a land here, and I really, really, really want to play Mountain turn 3, ideally, off of the sleight of hand. There we go. Perfect. So like, since my second sleight of hand is pretty likely to turn into a land, I think I'm okay to skip on the land with the first one. Cursed Courtier. Hello. Flick a coin. That's pretty good timing. That's kind of gross. I was going to cast Hatching Plans and hold up the torch to the tower, but if I can just flick a coin, a whole card, and draw a card off of it, that is really good value. There's a Threadbind click, just a 3/3 here. Torch that off the hatching plans. That'll be pretty gross. I gotta make sure I play enough cards here, though, so I can go... Okay. So I discard one more card. And then I play land for turn. Yeah, when I play land for turn, I shouldn't have to discard to hand size, I believe. Stopgap? Ditch that. Oh no, I do have to discard hand size. I need to play 2 cards here. Oh shoot. I guess we'll play a Ball Guest. Feels better to lose the treasure token than it does to discard a card here. Frostbridge Guard. So I can curse the guard, but it still has all its abilities. That doesn't seem great. Probably pretty fine to torch it. I can also just bounce it. I can't bounce higher mana value creatures, but I can potentially torch them if they're low enough toughness. Stroke of Midnight. I lose a catapult, but I get a 1/1. That is a fine deal. I don't have the curiosity for the catapult anyway, so... The 1/1 will kind of do the same thing, chip in for 1 damage every turn. I mean, I have enough instants and sorceries in here, especially off the adventure, that catapult does hit harder. Ooh. Than the 1/1, but not astronomically so. Okay, let's torch the guard now. Put 2 permanents on the battlefield to trigger Grand Ball Guest. No. Alright, get stroked again. It's not a great way to phrase it. I'm going to hold off on Curiosity. I don't want to make this a massive lightning rod for removal. Just in case they have sorcery speed removal, maybe they won't do it to the catapult. And if they have sorcery speed removal and they do want to do it to the catapult, at least I didn't get 2 for 1 that way. We do have 1 more catapult in our deck, but I feel like we should probably just Curiosity a 1/1. That is, if the Courtier weren't on board, if we knew that the 1/1s could get in, which we don't know they can get in. So... how about... I mean, I'm just so massively ahead in cards. Like, yeah, I can just play a 6/5 and kill them with that. So we'll do that. If they find anything to try to draw out of this, we can Farsight Ritual, sack in a human. Stay super ahead here. I'm actually standing in the 1/1s. Get some trades, feels good. They're down to 10, but they gain 1, so they're at 11. Here's the Fey Court. Whee! And there's the concession from our opponent. That was super gross. That was a really good matchup for us there. A slower kind of blue-white deck. We just out-card draw them by a massive margin. So start off 1-0 heading into game 2. We know the plan. Double catapult and a curiosity. Which catapult's gonna live here? Our opponent starts with Snare Master Sprite. Yes, I'm gonna curiosity there, Snare Master. Blue-black fairies from our opponent. Down to 19. 2 mana fairy, do it so I can bounce it. Choose a non-land card, they discard it. I guess, yeah, they control fairies, so that's literally just better Thoughtseize because they have a fairy on board. That's gross. Goodbye, Curiosity, I'm guessing. I guess if they have the efficient removal, they can let us keep Curiosity, and then they just make sure that they hold up their removal whenever I try to cast Curiosity. But they ditch the Curiosity. Fair enough. Let's slide a hand here. Mountain, I guess. At least we dug those out of the way. Oh no. Thoughtseize number 2. That is a good draw after getting discard spelled multiple times. Sure, spell stutter is fine. As long as I can resolve into the Fey Court, that'll be a much more important card. Hatching Plans, 1 card left in hand. If it can't bargain the Hatching Plans, that's good for me. Because then that's just going to be sitting there for a while. Man. I bet that was the top deck too. At least the curse roll doesn't really matter on Unruly Catapult. And this is their curse roll, not my curse roll, so I can't bargain the curse roll off of the catapult. I think I gotta kill the 3/2 here. I'm gonna have a 1/1 flyer to block their 1/1 flyer. Unless they drew another spell stutter here. Nice. Let's go. Quick study, draw 2. Land for turn, Snare Master Sprite with the 2 mana to stun our blocker, probably. Yep, stun our blocker. Okay. See if I draw any bargain. I should probably tap this in response to that ability. That's a bargain spell for the Hatching Plans. I don't really want to bargain right now because all their stuff is 1/1s anyways, so I think I'm just going to hard cast Attendance here. Save the Hatching Plans for a scarier fairy, like the 1/3 flying lifelink that can get bigger. And grapple the Attendants. Sadness. Curiosity a Sprite? Alright. Well, I will kill that Sprite now. I don't need to bargain to kill it, but I might as well to draw the 3. Potion. So if they flood out, they can dig out of that. Curiosity Ice Out, you say? I'm living in Magical Christmas Land. Let's do the thing. Bing. Draw a card. about to draw my whole deck. This is going to be sick. Compulsion's doing some digging. Discard an island, draw a card. Sack it to draw a card. Land for turn. They have 3 mana up to deal with our catapult. Or our Curious Catapult's about to take this game. Vantress Transmuter. Make our 1/1 a 1/1. I mean, I could counter that, but then I don't have the counterspell protection if they draw something to blow up Catapult. That is a sick draw. Look a coin there. 1/1. Untap the Catapult. So wild. Completely absurd. We can cast Pest Problem, untap the Catapult, tap, ping, draw a card, and still ice out, sacking a treasure token. Or sacking a rat token. Stopgap to bounce the Catapult. If they do resolve that and they do bounce the Catapult, Curiosity falls off forever. So I'm going to make sure that doesn't resolve. There's the concession from our opponent. Curious Catapult takes it all the way. We are 2-0 heading into game 3. Here we are for game 3. That is not keepable. And it is horrific mana. I mean, if I top deck 1 island, the hand is insane. I draw so many cards off of Hatching Plans, bargaining away a... Or sorry, Stopgap bargaining away a Hatching Plans, but we can't rely on that. There's no blue mana in this hand. Yikes! Arena's got cruel jokes today. If I draw literally any land, Hatching Plans, bargain it to Stopgap, play another Hatching Plans after the draw 3, that probably draws us towards the Torch the Tower bargains for the plans. I literally just need 1 land draw in the first 2. Let's go. It could be any color land, and then we draw a million cards to make sure that we have the second color. Oh my god, the draw's so good. Our opponent starts with Red Tooth Vanguard. Not the greatest creature to kill. This doesn't exile, does it? Oh, it does. Torch the Tower exiles, so we can stop them from reanimating Red Tooth Vanguard over and over. So that's going to be nice. Okay. They hold a bunch of mana up here. So we're going to counter Torch the Tower, I guess. I could go Island Stopgap if they're holding up a counter spell. They counter the Stopgap, and then I still Torch the Vanguard. I've got triple Torch in hand, so that feels like a solid way to go. I'm going to go for that. I guess the problem is I'm drawing 4 here. I do have to discard to hand size if I don't Torch. Yeah, that is the one issue. I can just discard a Transmuter, though. Quick Study is what they were holding up. Fair enough. Actually, I'll discard a Sleight of Hand. I have so much card draw, I don't need the card selection of Sleight of Hand, where I just turn this 1 card into a different 1 card. Red Tooth Vanguard is back. Tap out of counter spells. Ooh, that could have maybe exiled Hatching Plans. That is not going to be a thing now. Although if I do Hatching Plans right now, I do have to discard a hand size, which I really don't want to do. Right, because I go land, Hatching Plans Torch. That's 2 less cards. Unless I draw a blue 1-drop, I'd have to discard a card to hand size. Yeah, we can just slow them down. Exile that thing. Cool. Oof is back. Now they do have mana up for a potential counter in a blue-green deck. I still have plenty of stuff to cast here. I'm not really in a rush to draw another 3 cards. Save that, play around the counter a little bit. Play around a potential counter a little bit. Yeah, I'm cool to pass here. Catapult just blocks the oof forever. It's another draw 2. Bamboozled again. Get a food token from a Hollow Scavenger. Get the Hollow Scavenger. They can sack the food to make it a 5/4 till end of turn, so our torch is never going to be able to kill it. Unless I double torch it, which feels like a really bad deal. I guess I could block with Catapult, they could eat the food, and then I can torch in response to them eating the food. That is something. Okay, for just 2 mana, the only counter they can have is counter unless I pay 2, in which case they can't counter Hatching Plans at this point, because I can just pay the 2. I mean, they could have the bargain counterspell, but that's double blue, and they can't get blue out of Crystal Grotto without spending an extra mana. So still, with just those 2 lands untapped, they can't do that. I'm gonna lock in here. I'm gonna guarantee the draw 3. I think that's pretty important. So I'm gonna torch an oof. Not the greatest deal in the universe, but worth it for the draw 3. How else are we going to draw into Curiosity? Ice Out is solid too. Another Catapult? Sure. Let's see if we can win the game off of exclusively the Catapult squad. Draw 2, discard 2, and then they're going to get a big Trampler. I feel like this is a fine counter. We stop their card selection and the 3/4 Trampler later. And the 3/4 Trampler can get even bigger if they have more big spells to cast. This might not be a great matchup here, because they probably have a lot of high mana value spells. They're going to have a lot of really big creatures that are too big for our little torches and stuff, and our little bounces from Gatekeeper. But our cursed rolls should be solid. The catapults also won't block super well. Sure. Another catapult. They're doing some of their own digging with a sleight of hand. So Luna's Gatekeeper bounced the catapult. Rude. I think the worst part about that is that they're going to have a 6/5 coming up now. At least the Threadbind, the 3/3 flyer, we can torch that decently well. We'll have to bargain something. I've lost all my bargain fodder. But we can get some bargain fodder from Transmuter. Just bargain away a cursed roll. Though I guess I could just curse the 6/5. That's also solid. Uh-oh. 3/3 land from the Brave the Wilds. Well, their food's gone now, so I can trade another 3/2. Another cursed roll. I curse these lands. Probably. Yeah. Gatekeeper. Definitely curse that. Really need Torch the Tower up right now. I don't think so. Just be mana efficient and play the whole adventure plus trainee. Sure. Now they can't stutter a gatekeeper. They have 2 cards in hand and the 3/3 Flying Fairy. One of their cards in hand's a Gatekeeper, which is very good against creature tokens like our rat. Tragic. Here comes the 3/3 Flyer. Like that draw a lot. Gross. Last card in hand is another counterspell. Goodbye into the Fey Court. That's pretty rough. I think I'm still in the lead with these 3 creatures to play. We can torch their only flyer, take 1 damage this turn, and then I just play all these and I have better creatures on the ground than them. My 6/5 trade into their 6/5, and then I have 2 3/4s trade in those. But they immediately top check a 4/4 Vigilance Haste. So in hand we had the better cards. But they immediately drew pretty great. Hopefully we can do the same. We'll have to see. I get to scry a mountain away at least. Down to 5 off of that top deck from opponent, and we hit another mountain. I guess that means we play 2 3/4s instead of 1 6/5 here. I mean, it's arguable the 6/5 is better because it stops Scale Fang without losing a creature. But this is much more mana efficient. Yeah, no, it's probably still Gatekeeper instead of just instinctually going mana efficiency there. I mean, they're not a red deck. I'll go to 1 life. Nice from opponent. These draws are not nice. But we'll see. It can be a really close one. Wow. Our opponent is monumentally winning the top deck war. That's a huge draw spell. They get the Druid plus the next 2 cards in their deck as plays this turn. To get a Hollow Scavenger, which gives them another food, which makes the Catapult take a lot longer to kill them. Yep. Druid gets bigger on every non-green spell that they cast. Bakery Raid, cast the Scavenger. Come on, top deck, I believe. If I don't cast that, I'm dead to removal off the top. But if I use it as an instant, I have so much better blocks, right? Because I can eat their 6/5 without losing my 6/5. I guess the Scavenger's a 5/4 though, right? So even if I don't cast it, my blocks are actually still pretty bad. I can go 6/5 on 6/5, but I have to block literally everybody, so it's not like I can double block and kill Hollow Scavenger or anything. Yeah, it's kind of rough. I kind of think I have to just cast it. Like, this way I'm not dead to them top decking removal, but also my blocks aren't really that much better with the trick during their turn. Like, they're probably better just with the 3/4 body out. Pass turn from opponent. They have a food token, so it's not like I can stopgap the flyer and expect to kill them here. But if I stopgap the Gale Fang, that thing has haste anyway. Wait, as long as you own a card in exile that has an adventure. Oh yeah, because this got exiled through something else, that's always going to have haste, yeah. And then obviously, bouncing Scavenger lets them get more food, bouncing Gatekeeper lets them bounce one of my cards. I have to just bounce Chancellor. Like, not that I'm trying to get lethal here or anything, just that's the only really target we have. Okay, I could technically put this on the stack first and then respond to this untap ability. That would be better. Cute. They're down to 6. That actually could be good. I was going to say that's cute, but I might mill out before I kill them off that. But no. I mean, they're at 9, essentially. I could mill out before I kill them off of things. Still got another catapult in the deck, though, so if I can, like, maybe double up catapults, that could work. Here we go. Oh, it's a May ability, so I can just stop when it's not worth it. Apparently, it's already not worth it. We play that land for turn. We don't really have any attacks, so I'm dead on the crackback. Still dead to removal here. Hatching Plans is terrifying. If they have the bargain for it. Pass turn. I'll take that. Well, that's not fun. Opponent might be in a similar boat over there. Jesus. Okay, I have to stop drawing catapult cards. I have to stop drawing cards now. I need to find my other catapult. I got 6 cards left and it's in there. Do we do this during their turn or do we just do it right now? Feel like I do it right now. Towards casting the other catapult. Oh my god, why is well card draw left in the deck? There you are. Oh, but an ice out. Oh. It's got to be catapult though, doesn't it? Or I just don't outrace. Oh, Lord of mercy. Oh, we know the exact order of the deck now. We have blank, Farsight Ritual, Mountain, Ice out. Oh, the blank is my second curiosity. Oh, that's so funny. So I could draw 2 in the Farsight Ritual, or into the Farsight Ritual. But then if I cast the Farsight Ritual, I mill my deck, I'm dead. God dang it, it sucks Ice Out is on the bottom. Teeniest, tiniest chance. Let's see. Decline. Take action. Flick a coin face. Untap, untap. Oh my god! I don't know how we did that. One card in deck. We went all the way down to just Ice Out left. That's so funny. Oh my god, that was insane. They were like 1 card from killing us the whole time. Crazy game of Magic. But I think we're 3-0. That was a really long one. I was trying to play a quick draft and we're only 3 games in. We're an hour into the recording. Oh my god. At least we're doing some wild stuff with the Curious Catapults. Here we are for game 4. a fine opener. It's got the catapult that's goated. Incredible hand. Golgari from opponent. They start with a Prophetic Prism to fix for any random off-color adventures and stuff. Slide a hand. See if I can't find a torch. Nope, I do find a catapult again. I'll take it. Start rolling a bunch of catapults onto the board before we cast all these cheap instant sorceries. Golgari is going to be a rough matchup for trying to get kills with catapults, because they have tons of food token production. Great matchup for Flick a Coin, though. Goodbye, Vermin. There's the Hollow Scavenger. Okay. Gatekeeper the Rat pass, or just play a catapult? I'm just going to play a catapult. It's basically the same as Gatekeepering the Rat. I'm going to be blocking the rat's damage here. Immediately sack that food for damage. Probably just means they have enough food production to keep sacking one every turn. Yep. That is not good. It's gonna be quick. The Torch Tower is good. That's a great draw. If nothing else, that kills the Sweet Tooth Witch. I guess technically I could block Scavenger, they activate, I respond with Torch because they can only activate once per turn, but then the Sweet Tooth Witch remains and hitting me for 3 a turn anyway. If I make the Witch a 1/1 then? I love that they keep its ability around though. Set up for a block plus Torch if they don't have another combat trick. Or if they just have a 6-drop to cast, I guess. Turn from the Wilds, get a human and a food. That's not good. Pass turn. What is this, 3 mana for? I do not enjoy that. Could just be playing around the Torch the Tower. I feel behind enough, I might have to just Torch the Witch here. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to spend all my mana on playing as many blockers as possible next turn. Probably not going to have Torch mana left over. We are going to throw one at face. Draw another Torch anyway. Cool. Well, I can Torch off the treasure token. So block Scavenger and a 1/1, Torch the Scavenger if they sack the food. Take 1 damage next turn. If we start hitting land drops, I have so many spells here, we could stabilize. Nice. Torch gets the kill on the scavenger. It's a Red Tooth Vanguard. Can block that all day with a 0/4. Kill a 1/1. Block the other 2. Okay, block 1 of the other 2. Sadness. Man, that gives him another food too. A lot of breathing room. 15 life here. We were getting some good catapult progress going. That's what I'm looking for right there. 3/4 against the 3/1. Stop your attacks. Dark Tutelage. Alright. So they're going to draw a bunch of cards now. That could be pretty bad for us, but it could also help the catapult find the kill faster if we get enough pings going. Love to hold up double blue and 1. I guess what I can do here is I can Pest Problem and sack one of the rats to ice out for 2. So I can double spell decently here. I'm slightly tempted to attack with Transmuter. So I only take 1 on the crackback for doing so. I can block Vanguard with the catapults. Yeah, well, I'm glad I didn't, because I would have just spider fooded the catapult. Well, no, I have the ice out. I have the ice out. They can't spider food the catapult. Yeah, it could have been reasonable. That is so satisfying when you just chain a bunch of stuff like that with a catapult on board. All right, Uprising. Any 4 power creatures they draw, we'll draw them more cards. Okay, Tutelage is getting really sketchy for them. So they trade into the rat. Take 3, go to 4. Maybe a way to find a kill here. But this seems just perfectly solid, so I'm going to do it. It's pretty simple. Okay, yeah, not quite a kill, but still really good. 3 drop off the top. RIP. Dark Tutelage takes another soul today. We are now... God, we're like 4-0 undefeated with the catapult deck. Let's see if we can't keep it rolling. All right, here we are on the play for game 5. We got to find something to throw this Curiosity onto with our sleight of hand. Sadly, we didn't yet. So Curiosity's just stuck here, but we slow down their scariest creature with a cursed roll. We stopgap another card later. Still got some plays here. Hopefully not playing against like Boros or Rakdos, because this hand is kind of slow on the defensive. And we're not. We're against another Azorius deck. A sleight of hand. What do you find? Another Curiosity or a stopgap? We'll take a stopgap. Don't really need multiple Curiosities. I need my catapults to throw them onto. Esper from our opponent. Super controlling mirror match, it looks like. They'll probably have a lot of removal for our few cards that actually do something, like all our catapults. They're just going to die here. Could be a problem. Top 4, put 2 in a hand. Yeah, this is pretty good even if you don't bargain it. So we'll probably have to do that. Catapult with no defenses. I only have like 2 counter spells in this deck though, so I think we do just run that out. Charade, stun the catapult. That's pretty nice against stun counters. I guess the worst part of Charade is that she's going to draw them cards whenever you tap one or more untapped creatures your opponents control. So, okay, luckily I don't make them draw a million off of using my own catapult. So there's that. Let's do a little digging. Curiosity, see what we find. A torch the tower, I like it. Like it. I can stopgap ditching the cursed roll. Untap, tap, draw another card, shoot another thing, and then I can torch the tower, something that isn't Charade. Or if I don't stopgap here, then I can torch Charade for 3. I guess I could just torch non-bargained. But then I can't bargain stopgap without sack of catapult or curiosity. Yeah, this lines up a little awkward. Because I kind of have to bargain the curse roll. The other 2 cards are just way too valuable. Another torch, alright. Guess Charade remains. Yeah, I'm gonna do this just all while they're tapped out. Alright, that was pretty good. Even if they blow up Catapult. Curiosity and Catapult drew plenty of cards here. So we're still slightly up, I think, in the card economy there. Bounce it back to my hand. That's like the worst case scenario, because I don't have to spend an actual removal spell to do it. We are gonna be literally halfway through the deck after our next draw step, though. Sadly, neither of our 2 hatching plans were in the top 20. They would be perfect with these torches to kill that Charade. They are cheap enough I could Farsight Ritual into one of them and then do it. That feels fine. We'll probably have too many cards in hand if I do that, though. Yeah, because I'm going to have 3, 4, 5, 7 here. Wow, it's just still not there. Jeez. I think I have enough action to not pick up the other card draw spell. They have just a 2/3 on board. I have 2 torches in hand to blow that up soon. I'm going to need to make the pests to bargain away, ideally. I think we catapult and just block Charade for a turn. Or pull out a removal spell on the catapult. Twining Twins, gross. Flicker, Charade, tap, stun, catapult, draw another card. They did that in the end step rather than our main phase 2, though. So, luckily the arena timing got them pretty good there, and they don't get a hit this turn at least. But that is a bummer. Where are all my plans? 8 mana. Again, I can Pest Problem. And then I have the bargain fodder for the torches, as well as the ice out. Feels like a line. Do it during our turn. Well, they have less blue mana untapped. I over-tapped red. I should have held another to be able to torch the sprite as well this turn. I should have spent one of my blue. I instinctually held a bunch up because the ice out's double blue and I've got the attendants and stuff as well to cast. I'll keep a flick of coin. We can flick a coin the sprite now. Pretty cute. Maybe even before they get a curiosity draw, if the attendance resolves. Attendance resolves, they do not get a curiosity draw here. Catapult just has been such an MVP here. Maybe not in this game, but in this deck. This has been so goofy. While they are mostly tapped out, let us flick the sprite. No counterspell to hold up or anything. I can hold up a torch, so I just play an attendance, hold up a torch here. Keep a treasure for bargain nonsense if we find any. I guess Torch the Tower counts as bargain nonsense. Can sack the treasure token to kill Galvanic Giant. Not really necessary right now, though I have the 0-4 against it. Cool. Got a bunch of 3-4s to play alongside it, too. Curse the 4-6. Play the Transmuter. Could play the Trainee in the same turn, but then I don't have the mana to cast a Bargain to Torch the Tower, because I'd have to crack the treasure to play the Torch. Stockpiling Celerant. Well, that's about to pick up an Archive Dragon, I think. Sure, we'll torch it. Unbargained because I have to spend a 2 on the ward here. We're essentially torching a 4-6 this way, because if I don't do this... Okay, can I pay? There we go. I was a little worried Arena wasn't going to let me pay if I clicked Resolve. Yeah, if I don't torch this, they're casting a 4-6 on us, so that feels decent. Twining Twins have arrived, and they are also quite a problem. 4-4 Flying Vigilance. They're technically slightly easier to kill than a 4-6 flyer, but still a threat and a half over there. Both of our hatching plans are in the bottom 13. That is tragic. This game's close enough. It could have been won or lost off of just an additional, like, 3 extra cards is maybe all we need to outrace the Twins. Another catapult's not enough. I can't attack in. I attack with 4 things. They all get blocked, most of them without even trading. Ah, it does feel like just a couple cards off from outracing them here. So if somewhere in that mixture where we were bargaining all these tortures and rituals and ice outs and stuff, if there was a hatching plan just anywhere in the top 30, I guess, we might have been able to get there. Yep, there's Grasp on our flyer, and we are dead in one more swing. Or our opponent lives in fear and they grasp a catapult, that works too. Then I do get 3 turns to live. Or I guess 2 turns to live instead of 1. Oh, another flyer and the stun from Giant? Jeez. The icing on the cake. Tragic loss there. Again, if our deck was just in a little bit of a different sequence. The game's actually pretty close there. We got them down to 6. That's a lot of life, but 3 more cards. Just like a bounce on one of those flyers slows them down a lot more, gets extra pings with the catapult. It was a lot closer than it looked. That is 4-1 heading into game number 6. All right, here we are for game 6. This feels like identical to one of our hands earlier where it's like, sleight of hand could find us some action. There's not a lot going on. This might literally be identical. I think it was like those 3 cards. Oh no, there's a Curiosity in the other hand. We had a Curiosity with no creatures, and I was like, Root Rider Fawn starts it off from our opponent. And they're going to be ramping up, because I don't got much to do over here. We'll have some big card draw soon enough, but for now, we're just chilling. Stockpiling Celebrant. No 4-drop. No ramp value. Pick up the Root Rider Fawn for the Scry too. They must be flooded or something. They need to make sure they don't draw any more lands, I guess? I don't know, that is kind of wild. I gotta spend a bunch of time recasting that. Slow them down a little more and do some digging of our own. Goodbye, Celebrant. Fawn is back. Draw 3 cards. I've got 5 in hand. I have 8 in hand if I cast this, but I can just ditch one of these mountains. Yeah. I gotta find action. I gotta find catapults. Where are they? Those aren't catapults? No. Is it gonna happen again? I'm 3 cards away from halfway through the deck. I'm almost 20 cards deep already. No hatching plans. If you count the 2 cards we moved to the bottom, then I think we're halfway in, pretty much. No hatching plans or catapults this time. Our deck is kind of a combo deck. If we don't hit the right cards, it's kind of devastating, so I'm not a fan of the top half of my library here. I guess I can Curiosity this fairy up. I've got a second copy, but they're just gonna have the removal for the fairy, and then I'm gonna immediately hit Catapult and be sad I didn't Curiosity a Catapult. Watch. Oh, no, it's not a Catapult. I don't have to feel mega bad yet, I guess. Guest holding up Ice Out. Ice out to protect the fairy. The ball gets to trade into the Celebrant. Hilda's Crown of Winter. That can tap the fairy every single turn. Yeah, that's gonna be pretty brutal. I'll counter that. This actually would not be very good against our catapults if we had the catapult curiosity combo at least, but we do not have that. It's pretty good against our current board. Take the trade. I don't want to double curiosity this. Get out by 1 removal spell. I mean, they played a Crown of Winter, we countered it, they didn't cast any other removal. Maybe they don't have one. I mean, if you draw a card the turn you cast Curiosity, then it already replaces itself. It was essentially a cantrip. You spent 1 mana to draw 1, which is a fine deal. Shoot. Well, guess I'll have to draw the cards off of it next turn if it survives a removal spell. Double trick? No! Well, it got a card's worth of value. It made them double trick. So it essentially cantripped for us. Because it didn't cost us a card to Desperate Parry, just an adventure. Well, I can kill this Witch Stalker, I guess. Goodbye. Oh wait, no, I can't kill it. I'm dumb. It did have 1 damage on it, but if I make it a base 1/1 after all that, it still has all the buffs. So, wow, and they had the Celebrant right afterwards. Just get rid of the Curse roll anyway. Rude. Johan's Stopgap. Why is this happening again? This is even worse than last game. No hatching plans in the top 20. No catapults. I have 3 catapults and none in the top 20. Our combo deck has fallen flat. Can double spell Transmuter and Stopgap. I mean, I want to dig. I want to find our combo pieces. Farsight Ritual really digs, but we'll get the blocker down first. Stockpiling Celebrant to 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 stockpiling Celebrant. Our opponent has infinite Scry, but it costs them mana every time. Okay, no auto tapper. I have a bunch of double blue here. Let's tap 2 red. There they are. Catapult Gatekeeper looks good here. Yeah, we're looking to play big threats, I think. Guess maybe a torch would have been better than catapult actually this late. They have no flyers. Let's get attendance down. Because I feel like they're just casting more stockpiling Celebrant nonsense this turn. Are they going to pick up the Vigil here? Not go for the endless Celebrant on Celebrant loop? Okay, cool. The chain stops here. It's just going to be another 2/2 Knight. Just fine. The Gatekeeper plays really well against the Hopeful Vigil. Scry 2 to the top. They've got cards that they want on top. Cool. Get some damage. Kill a knight. One mana off from doing that. With the ice out up, so we'll hold the ice out up here. Catapult is going to be honestly probably a bigger threat than Gatekeeper, because Gatekeeper's just going to trade into a couple Celebrants and never do damage. That is way too threatening to let resolve, because with another copy of Celebrant, they exile one of my cards, pick it up, exile a card again, get flying damage in, or just with anything with Bargain. There's a lot of really good combos with Princess Takes Flight to make it a absurd Magic card. There's hatching plans, sadly, after cast all my bargain stuff. I'm sure there's still one or two ways to bargain in the deck, but not in the hand here. They got another Leaping Ambush? Or Archon's Glory, actually. We've already seen 2 combat tricks that can give flying. They might be running 1,000,000. Or is this just the destroy an attacking creature if they bargain a Hopeful Vigil? Yeah, sure. One to the top, one to the bottom. I feel like this hatching plants might be too late. I got 13 cards left. It's going to be a little bold to bargain this. Champion to kill the catapults. No, I don't really have any win con. I mean, I have 2 more catapults still in there. 2 catapults in the bottom 13. Yeah, that's true. The bottom 2 were the cards we had off of the rare card draw spell. So one of those is a Torch the Tower. I think the other's a land. Yeah, because he's going to random order. Yeah. So the 2 face down cards were whatever we didn't pick up with Farsight Ritual. All the hatching plan cards here. This game might just be coming down to mill at this point. But I have to draw something that actually damages them, so here we go. There we are. Sure. It is possible that it's better not to play hatching plans, just in case they have like a spider food where they can destroy target enchantment. And then they could mill us by destroying that enchantment. But I'm just going to play it so I have the flexibility of bargaining it in a super, super pinch, but I don't plan on doing that. Clear out a little bit of the board, so I might be able to actually get a little bit of chip damage in with the rats. So that I can potentially outrace them before I mill myself, as that is our only out to victory here. If they block with the champion, we just flick a coin at it. And if they like double block with Celebrant Witchstalker, then we're just clearing a bit of the path for the rat tokens off the pest problem. Another catapult, that is sweet. Is it better to get Summoning Sickness out of the way or have a second ping damage off Catapult? Could have all of these lose Summoning Sickness. I guess I'm only getting rid of Summoning Sickness on the first striker. No, because I mean, I can do this at instant speed during their turn, but this will still be Summoning Sick. Right, so I only get the extra ping if I wait all the way till the next turn cycle to do that. If I have all these rats on board, I attack with Gatekeeper, Ratcatcher, 2 rats. They trump Gatekeeper. Eat the Ratcatcher, eat a rat, take like 1 extra damage than just attacking with Gatekeeper. Okay, I don't think it's worth getting rid of Summoning Sickness. We just save it for another Catapult on tap. Food token is a big deal. But I am happy at least the puny snack doesn't get to work here. It doesn't get the -2/-2 anybody. In fact, if they went for an attack, I might have blocked with a catapult and got it killed by a puny snack, so I'm happy that didn't happen. Oh, they don't have black mana. What am I talking about? Never mind. They didn't even have the option of trying that. All right. It's gonna be an absolute nail biter again. To see if we mill out or get enough chip damage from all the catapults. I can probably reverse engineer what order my cards are in. So I know Mountain, Vantrance Transmuter, there's a Curiosity in the bottom. There's still 3 lands in there. Okay, this is just land, land. It's land, land, Transmuter, a Torch, and a land in the bottom too. So if I Torch and Bargain here, I put them to 9. Torch, Bargain, untap, untap. I draw land, land, Transmuter. Then I can Croaking Curse, untap, untap, ping, ping, they're at 7. Play Transmuter. 2 cards left. It's gotta be just better to not hatch your plans and just ping them a couple over a longer course of the game. Yeah, because they also have that food. So I can Bargain, Torch, kill the Witch Stalker. 4 attackers against 3 blockers. I get 1 damage in. Trade there. This gets eaten by the Fawn. Still not good attacks. Will be the turn we draw Transmuter, though. If they draw absolutely nothing the rest of this time. They're only on 8 lands right now, so there's like 9 more in their deck. It's possible. Not super likely, but possible they just purely flood from here. That is definitely not flood. Could torch my own Ratcatcher, and then I'm torching a 5/5. Okay. Torch a 5/5 it is. And also, that stops them from getting the food. That's probably the much more important part than killing the 5/5. Keeping them off the food, because the food can definitely get us milled before we kill them. Yeah, they're like 1 food token from victory. That is not a food token. Oh boy. We have 2 more instant sorceries in our deck, so we kill them in 3 more turns. Double ping, they're at 6. Next turn we quadruple ping, they're at 2. Oh my god. Oh, I forgot the double ping! Oh, okay. I clicked too fast. That's not good. I gave them another turn here. That's super not good. They should be at 2 life right now. Oh my god, I got too excited. It's not a food. Well, I do have a 50-50 chance of killing them off the top deck. One of those 2 cards is Torch. But they would be 100% dead if I didn't forget the thing. Oh my god. I'm so lucky. Never punished. Never didn't have it. Have we just won exclusively off catapults today? Is my memory failing me, or is that the only way we have won any of these games? It's just been strictly catapults. This is such nonsense. And our opponent agrees. They are not into it. Alright, this is now game 7, 5-1 right now. This quick draft has already gone much, much longer than I wanted it to. I'm already late, super late to today's video, and now this is going to go up at like 11 p.m., but we're not going to miss that daily upload streak. I'm going to get this out to you all today. Unless the next games take another like 2 hours. Okay, bounce that, slow them down. Boop. Actually, it would be pretty fine to just put a curse roll on it so I can flick a coin at it turn after. But this way I can get the catapult down sooner. Which actually might not even be that worth it because they could always like play a fairy here and then gain the 1 life. That kind of counteracts the catapult damage. But I can double spell next turn. That's 3 catapult damage next turn, right? Because I... Doesn't have to tap during untap step? Yeah, that's pretty weak against catapult, so I'm perfectly fine here. Yeah, I can flick a coin, use the treasure on the curse roll thing on transmuter. If I do that, here's the awkward part. If I do that, it's really bad against the spell stutter counterspell, the 1 in a blue counterspell, because then they let flick a coin resolve and then counter transmuter, and then my flick a coin basically didn't do anything either. So I'm just gonna transmuter untap catapult. Pass. Play around the counter. They could still counter transmuter here. But at least this way I didn't sink 2 cards into it. They have a fairy on board, and the 1 in a blue counterspell is counter unless they pay 2 plus 1 for each fairy you control, I believe. So it's counter unless I pay 3 right now. Alright, reminder, catapult does not untap during our untap step, so we just only tap it when we cast spells at this point. As long as the naughty doesn't have lifelink, I'm fine here to pass and not run into the counter unless I pay 3, because I would not have 3 mana up after a flick a coin. I could ice out, bargain away my catapult in a really bad scenario. But then they get to scry 1 and draw a card, so I just really don't want a catapult to go into the grave. I don't want to bargain that away if I don't have to. No, I'm good. I'm good on Ashiok. That's pretty threatening. Ooh, another catapult. This one gets to hang out. Gonna flick a coin while they're tapped out. This one gets a curiosity on it. Maybe, if they don't put a bitter chill on this one too. But I guess even if they did, it would still be worth it. I'm sad I don't have another counterspell here, but I'm going for it. Now they can just have any kind of removal. Respond by killing it. Candy grapple. Fair enough. Could just be really needlessly playing around the counter unless we pay 2, but here I am, doing it again. This also gets the removal, maybe thrown at a 3/4 instead of a 6/5, because that's still a pressuring amount of damage here. A concerning amount of damage. No! Counter no matter what. Goodbye, 6/5. Their draws are really bad. This is pretty lucky here. Transmuter Catapult's looking like enough to get the kill here. Over time. Super flooded over there. And there's the concession from our opponent. That's 6-1. We are officially heading into what could be the final boss. If we get a win in this next game, this will be the final game of Magic for today. But if not, we got 2 rounds in the chamber here. We have 2 shots at victory with the Catapult deck. We've had, I think, exactly 1 win where the Catapult did not kill our opponent. Because this time, it was sort of the Transmuter and the 3/4 Flyer as well. It wasn't just the Catapult, but I think literally every other win, it's just Catapult.deck, and we'll see if we can hit our combo pieces again in this final battle, looking for Catapults and hatching plans. All right, here we are on the play for that final battle. I do need to hit a land so I can get the Catapults onto the board. The rest of the hand looks quite solid. Lots of interaction with Cursed Rolls and a Torch the Tower. And that's the land we needed to turn 3 Catapults on the play. Playing against Orzhov with a Hopeful Vigil starting things off. I don't mind immediately torching, but I do have some bounce spells that are really good against tokens. I'll still just torch here. Keep their board as small as possible, as long as possible, to buy me time during the early game, to hopefully have a long, stable battle ahead. Board, Skitter's Butcher, 2/3 plus a 1/1 ret. There's an Ice Out to hold up, that's pretty solid, and I can stop 2 damage a turn with the Catapult. Excuse me, premium removal on Catapult, why would you do that? It's just an unruly Catapult, it doesn't matter. Actually, MVP of my deck, secretly. We are single-handedly raising this card's win rate so much today. Let's go. Find me some mana or hatching plans. Alright, this is a little bold, with no bargain in the hand, but I think it is worth that potential upside. There's a lot of bargain left in the deck. The only bargain spell we've drawn has been 1 copy of Torch the Tower. Oh wait, Ice Out is bargain as well. But yeah, we have still 2 more Torch the Towers, another Ice Out, a Farsight Ritual, 2 stopgaps. Yeah, there's a lot we can draw into here. Ew. Feed the Cauldron's pretty gross, and I'm super disappointed about that because they definitely top decked that, or otherwise they would have used that instead of Taken by Nightmares, because this is more narrow. There's the bargain for the hatching plans, that's pretty good. Do we just kill the Flyer? Because it's a Flyer? Feel like, yeah, because they can also like buff it up. And I can Cursed Roll the Butcher. They can't buff the Butcher up. Good draws. Another catapult is good, but I still need mana. Don't know if I have time to set up another catapult immediately here. I guess their board is going to be all on the ground here. You know what? I'm going for it. There's going to be a bunch of 1/1s on the ground. Theoretically have time. You know what? I don't even want to transmute here. Like, I can just block a 2/3 with a 0/4. Okay, now I kind of do. Curse Roll is base power. So it'd still be a 3/3, but I can block a 3/3 with a catapult. Might have to just stopgap the Butcher, though, because that'll also get rid of the Knightly Valor. But then they can recast the Butcher, get another rat, or scry 2 and draw a card off sacking the first rat. Kind of rough. I'm gonna Curse Roll the Butcher, so it's a 3/3. And then I have the ability to torch the Butcher and stopgap the 2/2. I have to stop just as much damage as possible though, so I'm gonna also stop 1 point of damage with this Curse Roll. I should have ditched this catapult. I need mana real bad to stabilize. I mean, I also didn't know they were just going to hit all gas from this point on and still have tons more threats. Great. Now the Butcher's out of reach of the torch. God dang it. So, I mean, now I can torch the Savior instead. They don't have the mana to sack this in response. Okay. Don't have time for that nonsense. Yeah, we might have cost ourselves the game here, just keeping the catapult. Just sticking toward the land sooner would be a much better way to stabilize, and that's the most important part there, even if catapult is our best win condition. We're under way too much pressure right now. Perfect draws still. They scry 2 and they didn't even need to. They just both go right back on top. Yep. Voracious Vermin for an insanely wide board. Another 2 creatures off the 1 spell. Flick a coin to kill specifically the Vermin is cute, but there's very little I can top deck to survive here. Curiosity is certainly not it. I have to chump block the Butcher this turn. I guess I'd rather chump block with a Transmuter than a Catapult. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7 mana next turn if I top deck a basic. Then I play another Transmuter, Catapult, chump a Transmuter again, and then try to Catapult Curiosity, do something. It's not looking good. Knightly Valor, actually MVP. Butcher too chunky. Alright. Time for the actual final battle. We are 6-2, heading into the final boss. Win or lose, this will be the last game of Magic, no matter what. Alright, final battle. Let's go. We are on the draw. Our opponent is super aggressive. That could be scary, but They're playing a blue deck, so they're probably not. Blue-black. Our last blue-black matchup was really, really solid. I don't mind this at all. We get to start with double hatching plants. So we're going to have infinite cards available. That's pretty good. Wicked roll into the Alchemist. That's slightly rough. Now I can't torch that. It's back in the hatching plans. We have to Gatekeeper it. And then torch it later. Yeah, Gatekeeper it and then torch it after the recast. If they let us. If they don't play anything with 3 or less toughness, then we'll have to wait on cracking the first hatching plans. Cool, we can torch the Conceited Witch instead. And because Torch the Tower exiles, I don't even think the 1 mana black combat trick saves the Witch, because it's like when it dies, bring it back with a Wicked Roll, is the black trick, if they have that. Yeah, I can untap and then just Torch the Tower is the first thing I do during my turn for just 1 mana. I can afford to do that later. Rather than instant speed. Welcome back, Ball Guest. That is not an island. Wow. Draw 3 plus scry here. Island, island, island. Beautiful. We found one. A transmuter? Sure. This is an island, and I just need to play 1 more card, I believe. Do we play the Ball Guest? Makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, I don't get to hold up the ice out here. I could have spent double red on the guest, but I have nothing to bargain for the ice out anyway. Transmuter Flicker Coin is solid. That's Celebration for the guest. Whee! Should probably learn to sit up straight a little more often. I give myself scoliosis over the years. Aquatic Alchemist is back. Took a while, but he has arrived. Looks like one of the little gel things from Wind Waker. That would be the greatest Universes Beyond of all time. A Zelda set with like Wind Waker style artwork. Yeah, we don't do anything about that. We just replay it. I could torch my guest and then the 6/5 is dead forever, but so is my guest. Holding up a Torch the Tower and an Ice Out, and if I don't want to do either of those things, then I can make some rat tokens instead with Ratcatcher Trainee's Adventure. I'll counter the draw 3. right, we're jamming. So many cards to play around with here. Such absurd card draw in this deck. I don't want to lose my only piece of bargain fodder just to stop 3 damage here. I'll take that. Archive Dragon. Wipe the roadblock. Good thing the transmuter taps it when we put the roll on the board. Make sure that we get a big swing in still next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can hit for 9 here if I want to torch the alchemist. But I think I'm good to just curse the dragon. Take whatever damage I can get through that. Cool. Sure, we'll trigger celebration with a 3/4 on the board. They're down to 2. They've got a food token to be at 5, but our board looks pretty great. We're 25 guards in. We are way more than halfway through this deck. There's no catapults again. But we hit both of our hatching plans, which put us really far ahead on cards really early this game, so actually just jamming in with all of our other nonsense creatures. It's pretty wild. Alright. There's a copy of a creature in your graveyard with mana value X, except it has flying. Could choose Gatekeeper. They don't have the mana for Gatekeeper, though. Yeah, I think we torched that in the end step here. More likely to hit lethal. Okay, I feel like this is super likely lethal, but just make it as likely as possible. Clearing out another blocker. They're at 5. They block that. Take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Theoretically the kill here. I can make it 9 damage with Pest Problem. Five damage on board. They can gain 3 to be at 5. Candy grapple that. They take 2, go to 0. They were so close to surviving that swing, but not quite, and that is 7-2, a trophy run with a really goofy deck. We didn't get to win every single game with the catapults. That was a very standard hatching plans victory there, just getting way ahead on cards and jamming out a bunch of mid-range creatures. But we had that like undefeated 4-0 start, like almost exclusively off the catapults, which was super wild. We really got to do the curiosity stuff with the triple catapult, double curiosity, and we really got to do the hatching plan stuff, getting way ahead in cards. That was a super fun draft, super fun time. I don't have too much more to say about it, and I really gotta get to uploading this video, or we're gonna miss a daily upload today. So that is gonna end today's video. As always, I'd like to thank my patrons and YouTube members for their support, as well as you for watching the video. If you enjoyed this and you're interested in seeing some more, you can always like, comment, and subscribe to tell the YouTube algorithm to send you some more in your recommended feed. If you'd like to catch me live, you can check out the Twitch channel in the link in the description below. And if you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out the Patreon link in the description below. But other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.